Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel, and it's about halfway through the year. Not quite, but I thought I would take a look back at my New Year's resolutions that I made, well, at the beginning of the year, about what I wanted to do in Arkham Horror this year. I made that video with Justin, and I was asked to come up with 3 different resolutions. I'm going to go over each and talk about if I've successfully done them and what I'm looking forward to doing in the remainder of the year. This is a very special year for the game because I could not have known exactly what Chapter 2 stuff was going to do to the game at the time in which I made my New Year's resolutions. So some of that is just like lacking from what I should have known at the time. Well, I mean, I shouldn't have known that, but things that I thought I would do are a little bit different from what I ended up doing with a lot of my time, especially the last few months exploring the new card pool. So, without further ado, my first resolution was something that was really super easy to do, and that was to actually play Trish Scarboro. This is an investigator that I had never played before because I was kind of scared to. She just seemed so good on paper, having the rogue and seeker card pool and a really, really good ability and a pretty decent stat line meant that I was like, what's there to see? Every time I play with someone else who plays Trish, which happens a lot, I'm impressed. She's good, but there was never anything that made me say, I want to try this for myself. Until I thought, okay, I'll play her in true solo. That eliminates the problem of her being too powerful and lets me use the full card pool and still have a challenge. So, beginning of this year, I've started playing, I believe it's beginning of the year, a true solo run of the Scarlet Keys, and it went really well. It's really fun. You can watch the whole thing on my channel. I suppose I should show off the deck anyway, so let me do that real quick. Yeah, here it is. This was through Scarlet Keys, as I just said. We've got 44 XP in here with a standalone thrown in there as part of Scarlet Keys shenanigans. I didn't throw in like all of the top tier stuff. Like I didn't put in Red Clock. I didn't really need to. I just had a good time playing this deck. Um, and I turned into Chuck Fergus deck, which is really easy to do with the card pool. A lot of good tactics and tricks, of course. Actually, there's a few new ones I could have put in as well if I had played it after the Chapter 2 stuff came out. That said, I've been trying to keep the 2 chapters separate if I'm playing kind of a run like this that's not otherwise limited. So, yeah. Trish was good. I had a good time playing her. I see the attraction. She's very strong. But this is actually a campaign that made her a bit weaker because her ability just doesn't work that often. There's rarely enough clues around to use the discover additional clue, and using her ability to get a concealed mini card just doesn't work rules as written because you're not evading enemies. So it's kind of a funny thing, but I had a good time anyway. But the whole point was just finally play her, see what it's like, move on. I actually have no interest in playing her again anytime soon. It's just the way things work out with these. I didn't find anything that was extremely interesting that I want to explore further. Unlike a lot of investigators that I say, yeah, I could play a different deck and it'd be really neat and fun. But she's good. She's good. Doesn't surprise anyone, of course. All right. Let's move on to the next one, which is actually kind of related to why I wanted to play with Trish anyway. And is kind of here as like maybe a 1.5. So number 2 is build more interesting decks. But part of the reason Play Trish was on the list in the first place was there's a whole list of investigators that I just haven't played or hadn't played. And I wanted to play them and do something interesting with them because there was some reason why I just didn't care about them, right? So, also towards the end of last year, I made a video on the channel. It looks like this, where I was ranking all of the unplayed investigators by interest. And I've just decided to go through and play the ones I actually wanted to play. So let's just sort of check off the boxes here that what I've done this year. Carson, I've played. Carson is a really fun investigator. I've been playing with Justin on his channel, playing board games through the Forgotten Age. Parallel Lola, I actually played twice this year, and I actually thought that both were interesting decks, and I'd like to talk about them briefly, I suppose. Daniela, I played through the Circle Undone. It wasn't like the most interesting version of Daniela, but I did throw in Crowbar and got a few clues. But otherwise, I wanted to see what she was like in a full campaign and thought that was really cool. Jim Culver, I played here on the channel too. That was part of a Mythos Busters campaign play along where I did a whole curse run with Phylian, who was playing Kohaku. Here is that deck. I actually found it to be really interesting and fun. As you can see, there's a couple of chapter 2 things in here, but not too many. Got the Atlas, and we're doing a lot of skills and a lot of other nonsense in here. I found that the curse, this is my favorite curse deck I ever played because Parallel Gems, where is it? Down the bottom? The ally deck makes things interesting apart from the curse stuff. So I didn't feel like I was locked into just think about curses all the time, but also think about this weird ally deck thing. I really enjoyed that. That was very fun. Maybe it wasn't like the most interesting in terms of um, building around some weird combo, but I think Parallel Jim himself is interesting enough to make it a non traditional gameplay, which is really what I'm getting at here. Didn't play Susie. I don't know if I'm playing Susie. I did play alongside of Susie, so I don't think I'm going to play her anytime soon. It's weird that there's another one of me behind me, right? Uh, how you, yep, pretty much the same guy. Okay. Trish, I played a campaign with Trish. Daryl, I played a campaign with Daryl. Lucius, I played a couple of scenarios. I haven't played a whole campaign, but I kind of did that, I suppose. Parallel Zoe, haven't played her. I might. I might. This is kind of where the list stops, and I said, yeah, these are all the ones that I probably should play, and the rest are like, maybe. Parallel Jenny, I'm thinking about. I have theory crafted a bit more on that in the future. Probably not too soon, but I would like to play her in a campaign on the channel. I want to figure out if it works. Lola, regular Lola, did not play, not going to play. Agatha, maybe. Parallel Agnes, I built a deck for Parallel Agnes that was not fun. I didn't play it. And then the rest I have no interest in at all. So I'm probably not going to get there. But I really, really like that I actually went through a chunk of this list, and most of them, or at least some of them, were interesting. So let me maybe show. So the whole reason I had this resolution was that I felt that last year I was playing a lot of decks that were just pretty nondescript. Like, not the most powerful version of Investigator, but rather the most obvious version. So a Leo Anderson deck that plays a bunch of the usual suspect allies. It wasn't interesting. I had a fun time playing because I like playing the game and the campaigns. That's like pretty close to why I play. Like the deck building I find cool too. Like I definitely like the deck building, but it's the actual gameplay is that's why I play the game. Okay. Um that was like kind of this year I've recently played a Mandy deck that was on the surface like Mandy's really good. You don't need to do anything that's interesting to play her. But I threw in survivor cards, especially some of the new ones like Glassing and Guerrilla Tactics, just to make it a little bit more interesting. And I think that was a good time. You're going to see that on the channel as well. Uh, yeah, so a lot of the stuff from last year, I just felt like I was going through the motions, just picking out a boring deck and playing it. This year, I don't think I've super followed this advice as much as I would like to. I have not played through a campaign where I sat down and said, "Here's the cool combo, let's go." And this is where I think the chapters 2 stuff has gotten in the way. I'm playing more limited card pools, and therefore I think the options are so limited that you don't get something that's unique. You get something that's good and fun. Like when I played Marie, I talked about that on this channel as well. Played Marie through Dunwich. It was good because it was new to me. And but I think if I played Marie again, I would do kind of the same thing if just using the chapter 2 cards. So I think a lot of the last few months has been exploring the new card pool, but not mixing it in with the old stuff as much because I'm still a little uncomfortable. It's not that I'm not doing it, clearly I am. Uh, but I haven't like said, it'd be fun, take this new card and pair it with an old card, get something really busted without feeling like disgusting about it. So I don't know. Probably it's the parallel Lola decks that have been the most interesting. And maybe it's not a surprise that those decks have been the ones I've played in 3-player games. So let me just bring those up and show you. One of them was from a Path to Carcosa run, and though that one was Seeker Mystic, looks like this. I called it a pile of cards for reasons. Now, some of this was actually quite boring because there's higher education in here and there is rite of seeking and divination. Like that was kind of the point. But playing Parallel Lola with all the other stuff to support, like Task Force and Matchbox and Schaffner's and Lone Wolf and Cat Mask, which got a lot of mileage from other people putting Doom on their own stuff, made this actually quite fun to play. In the Lantern's pretty cool. There's a lot of like stuff to explore with Parallel Lola that I didn't do here, and I'd like to revisit just because the level 4 of 2 different classes makes things kind of interesting. You don't really see it here other than, man, I guess higher education, the permanent with Rite of Seeking is super good, but that's not like a surprise, right? Um, so yeah, this was like fun. I wouldn't say there was anything like thematic here or cool about like, okay, here is the best way to play Seeker and Mystic, but whatever. Now, the other one, bring that one up, is more deliberate. And this one you will see on Pax's channel at some point. We haven't finished the run, but this is a survivor rogue going through the Forgotten Age, and it's got a lot of stuff here. There's like 50 some odd cards because we're playing both sets of signatures. But I actually liked crafting this, and maybe because it's taken so long and it took a while for us to start the run, it gave me much more time to think through what I wanted to do with this particular set of cards. So I actually feel proud of this one. The idea here is we're playing Quick Learner, which is here. Yes, that's the name of the channel. Um, to basically reduce the difficulty of everything by 2 for as many actions as possible. And if you do that with borrowed time and haste, you're basically taking, it's not quite 6 actions exactly because you're kind of laundering so one of them, but you're taking quite a few 0 difficulty or -2 difficulty tests. And it's a little bit of a joke because it doesn't always work, but when it does, it's very fun. But we're also taking advantage of this stuff with something like Stall for Time to use a early action to just fail, or these Fine Clothes to make that easier. Whispers of Doom has a little bit of payoff. We got these fake credentials. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Oh yeah, the Garrote Wire is pretty fun. And the Crystallizer of Dreams is here for this annoying set of events here. Actually worked out fine. Not amazing, but fine. So that is probably the most interesting deck that I've played this year, and maybe it's not a surprise that it was because there's this new set of cards that can be overlapping in your deck. So mostly it's the Quick Learner level 4, and then you get level 3 uh, cards from Rogue, which is Borrowed Time, and level 4 as well. But that's the most relevant one here. Yeah. Let me just quickly look through to see if there's anything else interesting I've played more recently. The Skids deck is fine. Like, it's interesting only in that I'm exploring a card pool that I otherwise wasn't. I think Skids is redeemed a bit by this card pool. It's been good, but with limited options, I don't think I can be proud of like, wow, you put Olivier and Logan together. Who'd have thunk it? But it's been fun to play. Maybe the mask is the cute thing here to try to get Skids' Elder Sign ability as much as possible. It's a little silly, but it does kind of work. Okay, let me see if there's anything else worth talking about. Not really. Most of this stuff is just new chapter 2 things, like the Dexter solo one. I'm less proud of building this. I'm more proud of piloting it. the build was still good, but I don't think it's super interesting. What else we got here? Not really anything, honestly. I spent a lot of time just playing limited card pools, so there's not much to talk about. The Carson deck is not that interesting, but it was fun to play. Okay, so hopefully in the rest of this year I can get back to building something to show off. That's interesting. Arkham Con, I'm going to try to build some stuff that's more fun than last year, which is just a bunch of standalone stuff that was just a deck. Okay, that's number 2. So the last one here is the meta one. Justin and I both had kind of a meta towards our channel resolution, and it was to make shorter, snappier videos. And I also kind of, I did okay here. At the beginning of the year, I was trying much harder to make 8 to 12-minute videos that were focusing on one card that I thought was interesting. And I've fallen off of that a bit recently, but I want to keep doing that. I've got an idea of a video about water protection. And if I'm lucky, it has already come out. No, it's not already come out. It probably will come out next week. But I want to just focus on one card or two cards, maybe some encounter cards, just talk about them. And they can be short videos. This one's a fairly short video too. I like the snappier part where it's more scripted, more like here's a thesis, let's get to it, let's talk about it, let's finish off with a conclusion. I want to do more of those things. And even though they're short videos, they're actually much harder to do just because you really want to say what you want to say and not have all this off the cuff stuff that takes up a lot of space and time. So it's a little scary sometimes. It's not the editing part. That part's fine at the end. It's really just do I have a whole point to make? Can I give good information? Can I give good arguments? And then be done. The other reason I haven't done this more recently is that I think a lot of the newer player content or the content focused on chapter 2 is just longer. Talking about, I did a lot of talking about building a better core set deck, talking about the investigator starter decks, the evergreen starter decks. There's a lot of stuff in there. So talking through that is important. But this one is going to end here. I'm looking forward to making more stuff for the rest of this year. I am not going to make as much stuff over the summer because I have other things to do and other fun stuff to do that's not related to Arkham. This is not my full-time job, and it's not going to be, so whenever I have time and inspiration to do stuff, it'll be here on the channel. But there's definitely going to be more gameplay stuff over the next few months. Not another true solo video for a little while. I am going to try to come up with some other run I want to do, but I'm a little bit sick of Brethren of Ash. I played a lot of it, and I don't need to play it again for some time. Although I've had a great time with it. I think it's a fantastic 3-scenario campaign. Looking forward to the new campaign that comes out in August, but that's not for a while, so got to figure out other stuff to do in the meantime. So that's it for this video. As usual, thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your support, and I will see you in the next video.